Guys and gals, after months of anticipation, we finally got all the details we've been wanting to know about the new Nintendo console, Nintendo Switch 2. So, what exactly are we getting with the Switch 2? Well, yes, when undocked, the screen is 1080p and can be up to 120 frames per second. There's what they called a vivid LCD screen with HDR support. The Joy-Cons are magnetic. There's mouse support, meaning that for some games you can use the Joy-Cons like a mouse controller. Joy-Cons are bigger. The screen is also bigger. 7.9-inch screen, bigger SLR but bigger SL, bigger SR buttons when you hold the Joy-Cons on the side for like multiplayer games. I don't know who still does that, but cool, whatever. Yes, improved speakers, better audio, 3D audio included. Also for like noise cancellation, a C button for game chat for like multiplayer use with a new camera accessory included, although you can use other Type-C microphones. A new stand that's supposed to be larger, it's sturdier. A Type-C port. We know there's going to be a Type-C port in the bottom, but there's also one on top, not just for a camera accessory, but if you're playing the Switch 2, like in tabletop mode, for example, you can charge it as well in an electrical socket, so that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, I did mention 4K is also included. You can also set the resolution to 1440p if you want, if you got like a monitor that supports QHD as well. Storage size, that's also a big upgrade. 250 gigabytes of storage included. The fan ventilation is in the dock and not in the handheld console itself. And it's pretty cool that the Joy-Cons are magnetic and there's a release button to detach them. More importantly, also backwards compatibility with previous Switch 1 games. Although there is a list available online of like some games facing strange compatibility issues, whether it's like starting up or otherwise. As Nintendo said in a PDF file, those problems are being investigated for any sort of glitches or startup problems. But it is strange to see maybe a few big names and heavy hitters, like even recent NBA 2K games like NBA 2K18, NBA 2K25, affected by those problems. Doom Eternal, Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, just a few games that come to mind included in the situation. Also in their presentation, announced like some third-party games gonna come over either later or by launch, such as Elden Ring and Final Fantasy VII Remake and Cyberpunk 2027, Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah. Also some new games, more importantly, that got announced, like Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, The Dusk Bloods, Kirby Air Riders, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. That's going to be cross-gen anyway. Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment, Drag Drive, something that with the mouse control thing, and a welcome tour. It's supposed to be like a tech demo game, and that's really cool and all, but I find it bizarre that it's paid and not pre-installed, just for new users to get an idea of what the Switch 2 is and how it works. It's just weird. It's not like what Sony did with Astro's Playroom. Okay, so price. Let's talk about price here. That's going to be the ultimate deciding factor. So if you want to buy the console itself without any game bundled, it is currently priced at $450. So you have to consider the fact that $450 with all the features included, improved Joy-Cons, bigger, bigger dock, kickstand. I mean, with all these features included, you just have to consider. I know it's not favorable by everyone, but I'm just trying to pull up the list because I just wanted to make a comparison to. I don't want to say the other, giant competitors of PlayStation, Xbox, but like sort of other like PC handhelds which are comparable to the Switch, like the Steam Deck, the one with the LCD screen. Even though like discontinued, you'll probably find them like the biggest size is like 512 gigabytes, also at $450. I think maximum frame rates, like refresh rate, is like 60 hertz. I should also mention that Switch 2 screen, by the way, has VRR support as well. So Steam Deck does also have an OLED screen. Like if you wanted one with 1 TB, it's like $650. So that's more than the Switch 2, right? And also, like, if you want to think about other competitors included, hold on, let me just get that. Like the Asus ROG Ally X, it's, or Logitech G Cloud, for example, or the Aya Neo Air, like even Aya Neo Air, like I've seen from a review at like $850, or even like Aya Neo Pocket Micro Classic, like $1,139, which is still insane. But also other models like ranging from 400 to 900. So like Aya Neo handheld PC games specs, at that range. Or like the Lenovo Legion Go can be like $700, with 512 gigabytes, and that has an SSD. But even some retailers might list it at $775 or like $900. So you just have to consider that fact as well in terms of pricing. Yeah, I did mention Steam Deck, the ROG Ally price tag. Hold on. I know I'm doing this in the middle of the recording, but it is kind of important to talk about it. But LCD with the ROG Ally Steam Deck, like $650 with an OLED screen. So you just have to take into consideration, with the manufacturing costs, shipment costs, and so forth. Nintendo has set the price on. And even like some of the competitors, like of course Xbox Series X, like can go to $500, or with a 2 terabyte $600. And the PS5 has increased as well, like $450, $500 as well. It's still crazy and bizarre to me as someone who's always been a PlayStation gamer. Like the PlayStation 5 Pro at $700, it's just insane to me. So keep one thing in mind when comparing the Switch 2 price tag to other competitors. The Xbox Series S, whether it's 512 gigs or 1 terabyte, can go from $300 to $350. So it's clear that the Series S is still cheaper than even the Switch 2. But also, I do want to mention the Switch 2 bundled with Mario Kart World at $500. You're saving maybe $30 because reports are surfacing that Switch 2 games and the cartridges, whether it's like Mario Kart World, like digital or physical, like $80 to like a digital at $90, and like Donkey Kong Bonanza at $70. So the price tag of like Switch games, it is concerning. But I mean, that's why like you probably really do need a second job, or just do a better job of just saving some cash. But I do think it's a lot. And when Nintendo had like a Treehouse Direct detailing everything about Mario Kart World, there were angry comments from everyone. Drop the price, drop the price, drop the price. So this is just something you just have to like think about. I think the price tag of the Switch 2, it's always going to be subjective. Like I understand it. Like it's the newest console on the market that will be launched worldwide on June 5, 2025. Like Switch 2 is still cheaper than the PlayStation 5 Pro, and that is currently the most expensive game console on the market. I know it doesn't do like docking, like handheld or tabletop or anything like that, like the Switch 2 does. So you just have to keep in mind a few things, like, with all the upgraded specs, and of course it's really great as well, like there are some games Nintendo said will have free updates, whether it's like, a couple of Zelda games like Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom, and even a couple of Pokemon games that really struggled badly in terms of performance, like Scarlet and Violet as well. And it's nice that even one of the best games ever, like Super Mario Odyssey, is getting a free upgrade. So those are just a few games. But Nintendo said that like there's going to be like an upgrade path for a few games that I know they mentioned, like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Kirby Forgotten Lands, and Mario Party Jamboree, like a small fee for upgrade path for like enhanced frame rates and resolution and quality texture shadows, just technical stuff that's just gonna get like a paid upgrade path. So just accept it. And also GameCube classics included. A few games mentioned, but more will come. And the use of micro SD express cards for expansion storage. Well, I mean, 250 gigs is still a lot, but hey, that's still nice. And a Pro controller that, yes, also has the new C button, an audio jack, and 2 back buttons, GLGR, priced at $80. Switch 2 camera, $50. And I know there are some other accessories as well that are currently priced. Eurogamer did a good job just having these details available. Yeah, even like Joy-Con 2 charging grip at like $35, understandably. I think the previous Joy-Con grip was maybe a bit cheaper. I'm sure it was. And yeah, like left and right Joy-Con 2 controllers at $90, for example. Hold on, sorry, I'm going with the ums again. Joy-Con 2 wheel at $20. And yeah, I did mention the Pro controller, $80. Joy-Con 2 strap, like $13. So it's just details to just take into consideration, you know? Yeah, I did say Donkey Kong Bonanza, $70. But if you wanted like Breath of the Wild, Switch 2 edition by itself, like $80. Both Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, $80 if you're just buying it for the first time. That's not the upgrade path price. That's just like, you're buying it for the first time. It's a Switch 2 game edition. That's it. The same for like Mario Party Jamboree and Kirby and the Forgotten Land at $80. So just keep that in mind. It's just weird that like Mario Kart World digital is like 80 and then physical 90 or something. So that's why there's like a lot of anger currently with the prices. But speaking of prices as well, because of the what's currently known as the Trump tariffs, Nintendo has announced a delay in pre-orders. When it was supposed to be on April 9, will instead be at a later date they will announce. But I mean, like, you know, all that will be figured out sooner or later. But it's just to keep in mind everything that the Switch 2 does, what it can do, what it offers, current price point. With a June 5 release date, maybe there will be a summer holiday sale from local retailers around the world. I don't know, maybe planning a June release, there could be like a discount at that time, and then, you know, kind of like selling it at a good price from, like, let's say GameStop, for example. But yeah, I was kind of impressed just seeing videos from IGN, CNET, The Verge, and Gadget doing like a hands-on impression, just getting their thoughts and opinions. I thought it was pretty cool, just knowing what Nintendo has done, keeping it safe, it's simple, with the demonstration, the video presentation as well. Not to make it like a Wii U problem, having mixed marketing message. Although I thought it was, I don't want to say bizarre, but just unusual that they didn't talk about the price in their video presentation, but the users and consumers needed to look and try to find information from websites, whether it's Eurogamer or IGN or otherwise, just find information about it. I think they didn't want to talk about the price and ruin the good vibes that were in the video that got everyone excited. So I think that's why there's like mixed reaction from everything Nintendo regarding the Switch 2 and the prices. But yeah, I mean, what can you do, right? Speaking of Switch, I have noticed that like I'm able to find like Switch OLED console prices available at like $250 or $270, which is also fine. I've seen maybe like $285 with a special edition, maybe a Splatoon or Zelda edition or something. I've seen like Switch Lite priced at like $175. If I had to choose, I like the OLED model. Nice screen, and so forth. Better kickstand, good audio. There's rumble, so that's just my opinion. If I had to pick, I'd take the OLED at 250. I think that's pretty good. 250, 270, I think that's excellent. But I mean, are you happy about the Switch 2? Anything you don't like about it? Any features that are missing? Any problems with the games that are not compatible? Just anything Switch 2. You want to share your thoughts? Let me know. Of course, I'm pretty sure that a lot of you are upset. I mean, I'm seeing comment sections from different pages, kind of mixed feelings about it. But I mean, yeah, like any thoughts you have about the Switch 2, just let me know in the comment section. I'm just simply sharing you like what I know, what is my opinion, why I think the price, I don't want to say justified, but why it is currently set as it is when you compare to like the Steam Deck. For the one that had the LCD screen, maybe was like priced a bit higher. And of course, the one with the OLED screen is higher. So, you know, do you think the price of the Switch 2 is justified compared to other PC gaming handheld devices? Let me know. I'm just curious about like your thoughts of, is the price justified against other handheld competitors? So yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions.